it means there is something that causes me to thrive. And just because it's God doesn't necessarily mean that it's satisfying if that's not what you're looking for. It means that when you touch me, see, if I'm in pain, if you hurt my feelings and I stay in the doldrums, it means that I haven't discovered something that's more satisfying than the touch that you've done, that you've brought upon me. So you are still in control of me because you are determining hurt. You are bringing hurt to me. You are bringing hurt to me and destroying my feelings. You feel me? So it's good to discover what is the satisfying remedy of your life. And just because it's God doesn't mean that it's greater. Like we eloquently said last night, there's no, this is the greater, this is greater. No, you determine what's greater. Just because it's God, it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, he's greater. Yeah, it may be greater in theory. It may be greater in theory, but it may not be greater in longing. And when the principle or the life or the spirit or the fruit or the power or the reality of God is not just greater in theory, but in longing, then it brings satisfaction. God is greater in theory. God is greater than bank robbery. God is greater than adultery. God is greater than fornication. God is greater than stealing. God is greater than disease in theory. But what is greater in longing? What is greater in longing? You could give somebody $5,000, but if they lost a cherished key ring, and you give them $5,000, you could say you could buy any key ring, but if it's something about that particular key ring, even though you gave them $5,000, they're still in pain because it was a longing. It depends on what it was. So it's awesome. It's good in our life flow to determine what are we really longing for. Not just what do I want, but what am I longing for? What is my soul longing for? And when my soul is longing for something and it doesn't have it, it creates a pain on the inside. It creates a misery because there is a longing that's not touched, and I'm getting these temporary things to be alternatives to what I really want. And the alternatives are not working. The alternatives are not working. You buy generic brands because you want the real brand, so you get a generic because it's cheaper. And so you get a cheaper brand to look like the real brand, but the real brand will really bring satisfaction. Because when you have the knockoff brand, you got to make sure people don't look inside because they're going to want to see the little label. So you still got to protect the knockoff brand. You still got to protect it. You really can't just move in confidence with it because someone else will know that it's a fake. And that's how it is with the kingdom sometimes. Sometimes we choose alternative beliefs or something to make us look like something, but then there is a dissatisfaction. That's why we hurt. And that's how come the attitudes from other people can knock you down, and what people say or think can knock you down, because have you discovered something that's greater than what's been done to you? And it's not, and we all know it in theory, but some of us may not have discovered it. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So just wanted you to know, I just wanted you to think about it. Have you connected with satisfaction, truth, and identity? Are you really satisfied with how your beliefs are? Are you still struggling to make that belief real? Or have you really found something that satisfied your questioning and your conditioning? Because when you're satisfied, you're settled. When you're satisfied, you're complete. See, folks who are not satisfied or not complete, and their beliefs can be questioned, and you can be dismayed and distracted because you're not yet satisfied with where you are. And so someone else may appear to have something that they're satisfied with, and it shows you up, but you can't let yourself be showed up because you told everybody you were fulfilled and you were not. And that's the biggest frustration in life, is to act like you're fulfilled when you're not. Isn't that something? To act like you're fulfilled, but you're not. When you're living, acting like you're fulfilled. So that means when you have a question, you can't ask it because you showed everybody you were complete. So you're really miserable because you're really hurting and you can't say it. Isn't that funny, to be hurt and you can't say it because you've acted like you were settled? because you've act like you were complete and you're really hurt and miserable, but you can't say you're hurt and miserable because everybody thinks you're complete. Isn't that funny? See, when you are sure of yourself, when you're satisfied, you can be real. You could say, I don't know, and don't feel like you would be called a dummy. You could say, no, I don't know, I've never thought of that, and without feeling you'll be disqualified from the rhythm. Isn't that amazing? So before I let you go, are you satisfied with yourself? And if you're not satisfied, how intentional are you in pursuing that lack of satisfaction? Are you really trying to fix it? If you are not satisfied, how are you moving casually to fix or eradicate the dissatisfaction? Or what are you doing? Are you waiting for it to appear? I mean, what are you doing? I mean, are you really moving intentional with your life to make it hindrance free? Or have you accepted the fact sometimes you'll be hindered? In order to create a settledness of it, are you accepting the fact that you will be stopped so you won't have to push? Are you accepting the fact that you will be held back so you won't have to move forward and feel disqualified? So, I mean, how you doing, cuz? I mean, what are you doing with it? I mean, what are you doing? Are we accepting that you can't change it so it could disrupt your intentionality? I can't change it, so I'm at peace. It's like, no. You will never be at peace when you know in yourself that there is a great calling or a great vision or a great something on your life. You'll never be, until you are doing it, until you discover that rhythm of how you're going to live in the world. What's your purpose? Your purpose is the rhythm that you decide to live your state of being in the earth. What is the rhythm in which I will live my humanity in the world? I will live it from this dimension, and it's going to bring me power. It's going to bring me control. I'm going to be able to move into this dimension. This is the rhythm that I'm going to live in. And you got to understand something, guys. In order to have that great vision, there are some things you're going to have to prepare for it. You're going to have to prepare your life for it. You're going to have to prepare yourself for that life. You just can't talk and say, this is what I want. You just can't have a testimony. You have to have a preparation of it. Some of us want to testify to what we want, but we're not changing our lives or habits to get what we want. So you got to pay the cost for that. You just can't say it and say it like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. In the Wizard of Oz, there's no place like home, and tap your heels. No, there is a working of you that you have to pay the cost to work to get that. You have to pay the cost to work to get that. You just can't wish for it and testify about it. You got to pay the cost to get that. So what rhythm do you want to live from? How you doing? How you guys doing? What rhythm do you want to live from? That's purpose, not finding what you're going to do, but discovering the rhythm in how you decide to live your human life, not the weakness of your life, but I'm going to live from this thing here. So what do you want to do? Then are you satisfied? And God isn't afraid if you say you're not satisfied. He's like, why are you not satisfied with me? No. If you're longing for that identity, you're satisfied. Most people are longing for a hug. They're not longing for truth. So if you give them truth, they're not satisfied because they want a hug. They don't want truth. Some people are longing for a kiss. They're not longing for a question to be answered. So if you answer their question, they're not satisfied because they want a kiss. Some people are longing for a relationship. They're not longing for an understanding. So when you give them understanding, they are angry because they want a relationship. And when they want to know, can I have relationship and that understanding? Will this relationship bring me understanding? Will this understanding bring me the relationship? You know what I'm saying? What are you longing for? Satisfaction is the result of getting what you long for. And everybody has a different longing. We could all understand the same scripture. We could all read the same Bible. We could all go to the same church or the spirituality centers or wherever we go. We could all have the same type of understanding. We could get together and we could understand the theory. But everybody has a different longing. Everybody has a different inner stretch or different inner hunger for something, and we can't always fulfill everybody's inner hunger. Sometimes it seems like we're on information overload. We know everything about quote unquote God and about us, self-discovery, purpose, and this and that, and we're still slipping down and we're falling. Why are we slipping and falling? Because we're still hungry, because we still have questions, because we're not satisfied, because the question hadn't been, thank God I'm under construction. Oh yeah, all of us under construction. It depends on what you want. So when you understand what you need and understand why you need it, then it will draw you to where to get it. Sometimes if we feel we need something but we're not making moves to go find where it is, then we're going to always be under construction. We're going to always have traffic jams. You ever notice wherever there is construction, there is a traffic jam? Wherever there is those orange cones and orange barrels in the street and all this, the traffic moves slow there because everybody has to learn how to maneuver past where the construction is. So whenever you are under inner or emotional or spiritual construction, things are going to move super slow around you because everything is trying to move over past the potholes to see where to have steady traffic or a steady flow. So it's good to know what you need and what you want and why, and see if you're going to be drawn to where it is so it could fix the potholes. So it could fix the potholes in your life. So it could fix the traffic. When the potholes are fixed in your life, the traffic moves smoother. Your understanding moves smoother. Your life moves smoother. Your happiness moves smoother when you fix the construction. But if you accept the fact that I'm just being built, then everything's just gonna be slow around you and never come together. Till eventually people are going to find, your blessings are going to find detours to go somewhere else because it can't get to you because of all of the construction around you. So you got to ask yourself, how do I need to be fixed? What's being fixed? What's being fixed now? What potholes are being fixed now? The stop signs? Is it a pipe leak? What is it? Something in the road? What needs to be fixed, and how quick are you cleaning it up? How quick are you fixing it? How many of you guys understand what I'm talking about? Satisfaction. What am I longing for? How do I want my life to look? How do I want my mind to look? How do I want my emotions to look? What am I longing for? Because until I understand, I'm going to slow down the traffic. Until I understand me, I'm going to slow down everything around me. Am I making myself clear? So you can do it. You just need to find out what it is. And you know what it is. You just have to be honest. No, people are not hurting you. You're only hurt when you haven't found the greatest satisfaction above your expectation. I expect this to happen. You didn't give it to me. I'm hurt. But when my longing is fulfilled, then what you do doesn't matter. But if you are the object of my longing, then I'm going to be hurt because I'm looking for you to help me. I'm going to say this before we go on. We had an awesome explanation last night. Some of us are in issues with other people. Some of us are really all right. We may not be all right with other people. We might not be good with other people. So I have to find out, what do you want me to do so I can be all right with you? And sometimes a person could say, you need to do this so you can be all right with me. And so you do this to be all right with them. But have you ever figured out that you might be at odds with God and the universe? And have you ever asked, what do I need to do to be all right with you and the universe? What do I need to clear so the traffic could flow? Because it's easy to know how to fix something with another person. Because if I fix something with another person, I gain another step. But when I fix this issue with God and the universe, I gain another life. It's a whole different situation. I could be with a person and fix it with them, and so I could gain a friend. But when I fix it with my identity, I gain another life. I gain a new life, not just a new step. You understand? So what's hindering those things? And what am I looking at? What am I looking at? What's going on? You feel me? You can do it. It's really not hard. Just discover what satisfies me. You feel me? That's enough. Peace.